Hello and welcome to the CMIP Debate Theatre here at NAB Show 2022. And we have another session starting right now where culture matters. Let's welcome Devinder Luthra from Spherex. Devinder, over to you.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. Hope everyone is doing really well and enjoying the show, be you here or virtually. Pleasure to introduce myself and the company Spherex. We are where culture meets content, and I'm going to start just by giving you a quick view. So Spherex believes that culture is really important. We believe that it's the next version of localization. Be you a content creator, somebody who acquires content, who distributes content, who has a platform, or is actually, a consumer of content, you want to make sure that the content you're looking at, buying or consuming or consumption really speaks to you from a cultural perspective. So if you're a Korean mum in Los Angeles, you want to make sure the programming you're seeing and receiving really speaks to your cultural sensibilities. If you're a US television network producing a direct-to-consumer programming in Australia, again, you want to make sure that that programming really speaks to the audience in an effective way. So in a nutshell, Spherex is a technology and a data company, and we use AI and machine learning to essentially assess and evaluate and calibrate that content for all the world's audiences. So what I'm going to do is just play a short intro video for you.
Today, there are over 1 billion streaming subscribers worldwide, projected to double by 2025. It's a digital land grab across the globe, and content providers everywhere are staking their claim. The need for TV and film content to be assessed and adapted for local audiences worldwide has never been more important. Missteps can be devastating. If rated incorrectly, your film misses its intended audience and potentially millions in revenue. If deemed culturally offensive, your film can devastate your brand's reputation. Spherex has developed a first-of-its-kind solution for your content to reach the biggest audience, generate the most revenue, and stay brand safe. It's a solution we call culturalization. Not just translating language, but viewing the content through a cultural lens of social norms, religious beliefs, and legal compliance. By collaborating with every regulator across the globe, we ensure our clients' content is appropriate and compliant for audiences in every market, minimizing their brand risk where there are cultural hotspots, and maximizing their revenue and audience. Using artificial intelligence and human-centered machine learning, we assess language, emotion, and cultural context, interpreting your content for any audience in the world. This results in a cultural playbook, a bird's-eye view of potential problems and opportunities in every market across the globe. This lets audiences enjoy your content in a way that embraces their cultural values and habits. And that audience will grow along with others around the world. This is the future of content globalization. Successful media and entertainment companies are already working with Spherex to maximize their international expansion. Spherex has data on 25 million global film and TV listings and has issued over 1 million age ratings worldwide. We're also the only cultural translation technology to rate films and TV shows, as well as track and monitor listings and art for every local market worldwide. Culturalizing your content ensures your success in any region across the globe and makes that content easier to discover for all audiences. As digital content distribution accelerates, Spherex is the key to winning the international streaming wars for media and entertainment companies. Because culture matters. Spherex.
That's awesome, great. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So clearly you can see culture matters. Culture is the lens through which people are receptive to a content, really enjoy it, or something that, on the other side of it will really repel and think, gosh, this is really offensive and I'm not going to enjoy this. broadly speaking, there's around 40 regulators in the world. These regulators have statutes, policies, guidelines, laws, and norms and standards that if you're a D2C platform or someone doing business in those territories, you need to know about. The special thing about Spherex is we've produced a machine learning algorithm that essentially understands all of those laws, all of those cultural sensibilities, and as suggested in the video, our AI and human-assisted AI platform ingests those videos and can tell you specifically what timestamps there might be a cultural event that is not palatable for that particular audience, that territory, that title, at any moment of time. So culture matters, and it matters for a very specific business reason. So here's a specific example. It's a title that was released, it's a European title that was released in the US, 2006. And actually it's a very interesting story about the relationship between a father and a daughter. So Tony Erdmann. Now it was rated an R in the US, an R. We think, oh my gosh, that must be awful, right? And what the advisories around it were was said, oh look, it's got strong sexual content, graphic nudity, language, brief drug use. So you'd think, oh my gosh, there's no way, I would really allow, let's just say my kids or my older teenagers or whatever, no way I want them to see it, right? But think about it, in its home territory where it actually won a bunch of awards, in Germany, it was rated a 12. But think about that. There's a 12 in Germany and an R in the US. And then if you didn't understand that cultural sensibility, you'd think, oh gosh, okay, if it's a 12 in Germany, it's going to be a PG-13 or whatever in the US. But that wasn't actually how it turned out. And the reverse is also true. And in fact, there's between 12 and 16, there's 2.8 million youth in Germany. So imagine if you had pegged that to be super, super low where it should have been high, or high when it should have been low from a ratings perspective. You would have overshot the ratings. You would have, essentially missed your target market, or conversely, you would have potentially run into a lot of PR problems and headaches in that territory. All of that gets avoided with Spherex, and that's the platform that we have. We offer 4 services specifically. The first is what I just talked about, which is the age ratings. So here's a workflow-based SaaS platform called Spherex Ratings. And as I say, we work with all the regulators in the world. So whether you've got original content, premium kind of crown jewels, or 5,000 hours of programming that you want to release in Australia or in Singapore, or in Germany or wherever, we can assess that for you in terms of making sure you have the correct ratings value, the correct advisories that sit around it, the correct image in terms of the pictogram that displays the age label, and then in certain territories there's also video pre-roll as well that's required. So we can take care of all of that, soup to nuts, with Spherex Ratings, and work in close conjunction with your business systems, be they your CMS, your MAM, or your localization partners. So we can do it exactly when you need it to be done in the supply chain. The package that we're actually releasing here at NAB is called Spherex Greenlight, and here's a screenshot of it, and there was also a display of it in the video. So this is where a piece of content, video, a film or television episode comes in. Our platform passes that in a very intelligent way, again using human-assisted AI and machine learning, and we can provide you a perspective, essentially like a specific red dot on a time series. We can tell you 2 minutes, 13 seconds into this movie, there was some gratuitous violence, or there was like a torture scene, or whatever it might be. We can tell you that, and we can tell you, okay, that's not going to be good in Brazil, or that's definitely not going to fly in, Malaysia or some other territory. So Spherex Greenlight does that. It's very powerful. And you can also download an EDL from it as well to make it very seamless in terms of business partner information sharing and getting all the stakeholders aligned. The other platform that we have is a global listing database. We've got over 25 million, I think now almost 30 million listings that we keep track of. So we know exactly where in the world those specific titles are in terms of their current monetization windows, what the artwork looks like, what the metadata looks like, whether they're available or not on the platform. And some of our clients give us their specific avails, and so we're able to monitor and track those titles against specific avails, even like from a TVOD
'TVOD
window all the way through SVOD window. And actually that speaks to the title monitoring, which I just mentioned before. And there's essentially a series of custom reports and dashboards and analytics tools that get produced out of Spherex monitoring. And you can see here on the slide, there's an example of a drill-in capability where you can look into, let's say, Latin America or Europe, and you can see exactly kind of honing in successive layers of detail. You can see exactly the state of your title in that particular market on any given platform according to your veils. And we can also do things like competitive monitoring in terms of, what are the folder placements that you're getting into versus competitive titles. And then obviously there's a very important use case here around TVOD, meaning am I getting my EST, HD, 4K versions up, and what price are they being produced around? And lastly, it really does a great job of monitoring the metadata as well. So in a complete way, that's what Spherex does. And so as I said, we're here at NAB, we're in the West Hall booth 8904, and we'd absolutely love to give you guys a demo of the content analysis platform. That's what we're here doing, and it's ready to go, and we'd love to talk to you about it. Thanks very much indeed.